Hello guys, and welcome to the final mission in the Heart of the Swarm campaign. This mission is called the Reckoning, and the achievements for this mission are the Reckoning. Complete the mission. Swarm Guardian. Prevent the Hyperion from taking damage. Zerg Rush. Complete the mission in less than 25 minutes on normal. Now this mission is about like most of the in-campaign missions. It's basically drive until the end, and it's not very hard. Like I said, the hardest things about this mission are basically the time limit. Is pushing through all the different types of enemies you're gonna fight, and basically clearing the way for your commanders. Because they're gonna be one of the hardest things to do in this mission, is clear a path for your commanders to come through and get to the end of this mission before that time limit comes out. But other than that, it's not a completely difficult mission, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. The cool thing about this mission, I think, as far as end of campaign missions go, I think it's one of the easier ones. But it is just a little bit of a pain in the butt because you do have to get to each one of your commanders to let them into the fight. They can't fight their way in, unlike most of the other games where it's like, oh, the commander's already on the battlefield with you, you know? One thing you are going to want to make sure you do in this mission, make sure you do have a very good defense at the home base. Like 5 spine crawlers at every pathway and some spore crawlers mixed in there would probably be the best. So this way you're not having to go out and attack something, come back and defend the base, and then go out and attack something, come back and defend the base. It makes things go a lot easier. Also, about halfway through this mission, the Hyperion will show up, and the hardest part about that is keeping the Hyperion from taking any damage. So basically, I'd start spreading your creep up the left side of the map, and then that way when the Hyperion shows up, you can just go ahead and plant your spore crawlers and stuff in front of it, or you can make swarm hosts, and basically when he drops down, you can drop a bunch of swarm hosts in front of him. Or every time he starts getting attacked, you can try to run over there and protect him. It's basically how comfortable you are with that part of the mission. Because if the Hyperion ship takes any damage, then you've lost that achievement. I would suggest swarm hosts because it's kind of hard to get your creep spread up there, and like I'm attacking right now, it'd be difficult to, every time they get attacked, pull everything back, pull it up through your base, and then back over to the Hyperion. So I'd suggest using swarm hosts and just make about 4 or 5 of them and just plant them over there. That way anything that comes up you can easily defend Raynor with. And then every so often, they'll build bunkers and they'll advance their force. They'll empty those bunkers and build more bunkers. Now, when they do that, go ahead and move your swarm host up with the new bunkers. And if you want, it's not going to help the mission or anything like that, but all those little statues of minks, you should be able to basically shoot them down and destroy them. It won't help or anything, but I like doing it just because it's kind of fun. What's those weird shoulder robot things? No, they've attacked. They're attacking the base. And that's what Zerglings are for. Hey look, my swarm hosts. Why the hell are y'all out there? Looks like I'm trying to establish some swarm hosts at home, too. Yes. Drone, take that out. When you're done, go back to mining minerals. This map is pretty interesting because this map is also used in the Void Shard mission, co-op mission, because basically they start spawning these shards that you only have a limited time to destroy, or else they explode and destroy the city. So what you have to do is usually around about anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes on the timer, move in and destroy them. At 4 minutes, you're kind of cutting it close because basically the guy who's in charge of the mission starts yelling at you, going, the thing's gonna explode. You could go take it out now. So that's usually the latest you want to move into destroying those. But other than that, like, they give you at least like 3 to 4 minutes before it hits that time. Because usually they'll spawn with either 8 or 10 minutes on that timer. There's my swarm hosts in the middle of the action again. What the heck are y'all doing over there? Well, at least I got... Oh wait, those are... I think those are Zagara's Hydralisks, so that should be interesting. Man, I wish these swarm hosts work like they do in one of the co-op campaigns, because the ones in the co-op campaigns actually have the ability to walk around while still producing locusts. Normal swarm hosts you have to plant, and then they'll spew out the locust, whereas the ones I believe that Abathur makes can spew locusts while walking around. Hey, it's my Leviathan. Speaking of Abathur. Yes, come back over here, protect the Hyperion. Move the Leviathan in, just to buck it up. Yeah, in the end cutscene, you actually get a scale for size on the size of Leviathan. This would be terrifying, considering they're big enough that on the horizon they almost stretch from one end to the other. So it's like, good lord, those tentacles coming down, they'd probably be about the size of, like, you know, Greyhound buses coming into smacking something, and it's like, ay! Yes, Swarm Host, come over here. Protect the Hyperion. As for the rest of you idiots, this way! Nah, more connection issues. We'll see if the achievements pop at the end of this mission. So one problem with where I live is the internet connection is very iffy. So like, it's satellite internet, and the problem with satellite internet is like, it has a very unreliable connection. So if you're playing online games and stuff like that, it can be very finicky. It's the problem I run into all the time, is the fact that I'll be in the middle of a game trying to get an achievement or something like that, and then all of a sudden, the internet KO'd itself, so it doesn't allow me to do it. And it does that skipping you just saw there, so it's like, nyeh. Poor Planetary Defense just didn't know which way to shoot, did it? It was like, shoot that way, nope, shoot that way. Oh god, I'm dying. There we go. We opened up this pathway for Dahaka. Now Dahaka's gonna move in and start KOing things. Woo! The only one that should be left is Stukov. That dang swarm host. Poor thing was in the middle of the fight, and I'm going, what are you doing here? Why is the Odin trying to kill you? Eh. Vikings! Stukov, I will get you out of there, I promise. Looks like Zagara is trying to help too. That's pretty neat. I saw you. It's like, no you didn't. So nothing. They blew it up. Again, this mission's not too hard. It's just basically coming in and moving through heavy entrenchment is the main problem with it. And the other problem is dealing with the time limit, because if anybody knows me, like, I take things down to the wire usually. Especially on my Protoss mission that I just put up earlier. It was one of those things where it was like, alright, I have 30 seconds. Either I, put a pylon down on an obelisk, or I can finish the mission on time. And I was like, crap! So I wound up taking Zeratul and just charging headlong through the enemy forces, trying to get it to the end part. Go, Leviathan. Take it out. I'd like to see somebody actually do like an art rendering of the actual scale of each individual unit and building. Because I'd like to see those next to each other and like what it actually would look like. Because right there, Leviathan and Kerrigan, it makes the Leviathan look like it's about the size of, you know, like a fighter jet or something like that. When in reality, the thing's bigger than a couple of battleships set end to end and in the air. And I know that the Zerglings, they're about the size of a medium to a big dog, coming up to about Kerrigan's hip. So that would be kind of neat to see. Like, I wonder how big the Locusts actually are. If they're, like, giant creatures, or if they're actually kind of like, you know, about the same size of a Zerg, but with wings. And we know that the siege tanks, those aren't too big, because we've seen Sergeant Hammer in her siege tank, and she's, you know, roughly about the size of a medium car. It's actually smaller than most regular cars. And we know that the Leviathans are actually bigger than the battle cruisers are that the Terrans use, so... Send your infected Terrans. Dahaka, send your primal Zerg. Zagara, send your regular Zerg. Me, send more regular Zerg. Got the Gorgon battle cruisers. At least they're not the same Gorgon style that was in the beginning of this campaign. The ones in the beginning of the campaign basically just had this little circle on the ground that if you walked in anywhere near it, it was like automatic death. Look, it's a really brave Banshee. Oops. Banshee dead. More Gorgon-style battle cruisers. I wonder what Nova's battle cruisers are going to look like or have the ability to do, because all of her units have different varieties to their looks, and they have different upgrades and basically equipment that they can use. And I don't know why I buried everybody just then, but I think I was trying to plant the swarm host and wound up planting everything. There's the Odin. It's funny, they wind up keeping the Odin, but did they ever get the Loki back up and running? Alright, for the final strike. Take it out. Well guys, this mission wasn't too bad, was it? Aside from my random rambling, but... Once you take everything out, it's not too bad. Well guys, there you have it. This has been The Reckoning and how to get the achievements. If y'all like what y'all saw, go ahead and give me a like and a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.